Good morning, everybody. Jeremy Brunansky here with Brunansky's Vlog. It's Monday morning. It is 10 a.m. PST. We are live on YouTube, and we're going to talk some movies today. We have got a lot to talk about in this week's show. Last week, you might remember that we did 5 Christmas tunes for your holiday playlist. These are recommendations. This week, I'm going to give you another 5. So that'll be 10 songs you can add to your Christmas music playlist for your Christmas parties this year. Also, we're going to take a look at a couple gift ideas that we have for the readers in your life. If you have friends or family that like to read, I got 2 book recommendations for you guys for the holiday season. Also, down below in the description box, if you are interested in starting your own YouTube channel, your own Twitch stream, your own Facebook Live, your own IGTV, so many platforms, down below in the description box, go ahead and check that out. There are links for items down there that will get you started on getting your content out onto the interwebs for people to enjoy and share and converse with you there. So check it out. If you've got friends or family that want to go into video production, again, down below in the description box, you're going to find some links for some items to get your friends or family started if that's something they've expressed an interest in this holiday season. So go ahead and check it out. Also, as we go through the show, we got some news stories we're going to talk about. All those articles are down below in the description box. So follow along as we go through the show down there. And finally, don't forget to click subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. And if you enjoy any portion of this show, give me the thumbs up, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. Now, next week is the last live episode of 2018. What? Yes. Where did the year go? I don't know. 2018 flew by. My goodness, what a quick year. So stay tuned to the channel, because we got today's show, we've got next week's show, and then it is Christmas and New Year's, and what's going on? It's 2019. Holy cow. So stay tuned. Click the subscribe button. Hit the bell. One more live show after today. What a year it's been. We're going to take a look at some news stories. We're going to take a look at the weekend box office today. We're going to take a look at one movie review that I got out to see. We're going to take a look at a movie trailer review, because as you guys know, I started doing movie trailer reviews on this channel. So we did 4 last week that are up. I'm going to share my favorite one out of those 4, which might surprise you. So stay tuned for that. That's coming up here in just 1 second. But before we do that, let's just go ahead and make sure that everyone is aware that we've got movie news we're going to be taking a look at. We've got weekend box office we're going to take a look at. We've got a movie review we're going to take a look at. What's hitting theaters this week we're going to take a look at. What's hitting DVD this week. And finally, 2 certified rad stories. And then we're going to finish the show with Christmas music recommendations. So stay tuned. We got a lot to talk about. Let's go ahead and move into the trailer review this week. This week, like I said, I did 4 trailer reviews. Out of those 4, this was my favorite of the week. It might surprise you. It wasn't Captain Marvel. It wasn't the new Avengers. It's Artemis Fowl. Really enjoyed this trailer. Let's go ahead and take a look at it right now, and then we'll be back and we'll talk more movies right after this. So stay tuned. Be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? Jeremy Brunansky with Brunansky's Vlog, and I just finished watching the brand new trailer for Artemis Fowl, directed by Kenneth Branagh. Overall, really dug the trailer. Not really familiar with the story or anything like that, but it starts off, looks just like a big city, right? People all over the place, big city vibe, and then it just jumps into this crazy cool, bizarre, futuristic world of sorts, where we got people using like some kind of energy to push people away from them. Energy, electric bows and arrows, crazy futuristic cyber guns. This trailer just really impressed me for not knowing anything about the story or the characters or anything like that. Big fan of Kenneth Branagh's directing ability and how he's able to pull out really good, strong performances from his actors. So that, matched with this crazy cool looking futuristic world, I'm in. Wait to see more from this to get a little bit of an idea of what the story is going to be about. Just from this trailer, we understand that there's a boy rather, who's about to learn some information and some truth that he's not prepared for, and it's going to take him on an adventure. That's great. That's a great teaser. That's a great start to whet the appetite for what this film is going to be about. Definitely recommending you guys check out the brand new trailer for Artemis Fowl. All right, and we're back. There it is. That was the trailer for Artemis Fowl. Now, you might be surprised and you might be wondering, Jeremy, why Artemis Fowl out of all of the trailers that dropped last week? Well, really simply, I figured Captain Marvel was going to be good. I liked the teaser for it. The Avengers Endgame trailer, it didn't drop in time for me to record it, so that trailer review is going up this week. But out of all of the trailer reviews I saw last week, and the trailers I saw last week, rather, and then the reviews I did for them, I liked Artemis Fowl because I don't really know anything about the story, really, as you just heard in my review, right? So I was really interested in what this is going to be, what's Kenneth Branagh bringing to the table. Now, there is some slight hesitation on this trailer, on this movie for me, because A Wrinkle in Time, I was really hyped for, and I was really looking forward to it. I liked the crazy world building again that went into this story and how everything looked in the trailers. And then when I saw the film and I walked out, I was disappointed. It did not even come close to hitting expectations for me. So I am a little hesitant on how excited should I be for this film, because A Wrinkle in Time did disappoint. But hopefully we'll be able to get a solid film out of Artemis Fowl. Looking forward to it. Like I said, the trailer looks really good. So go ahead and check out the movie review the movie trailer review playlist for more trailer reviews. We got some more coming up this week. So again, click subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications when the new content drops, like the trailer reviews, so you can stay up to date with those trailers. You can hear my thoughts, and then you can leave your comments in the comment section about your thoughts and get that dialogue started there. All right, we're going to go ahead and move into the news segment this week. We have got a pretty concise and pretty short segment for the news, because we're just gonna be taking a look at the Golden Globes. So let's go ahead and move into that right now. Boom, there it is. All right, transition complete. How about that? Amazing. The wonders of technology. All right, here we go. So we're gonna take a look at the weekend box office. This week I got out to see one movie in theaters, and that was The Front Runner. So let's take a look at the weekend box office and see what you guys were getting out to the theaters to watch this week. And again, all of these are in the description box below. So if you want to follow along, just hit that little arrow and it'll drop down and you can follow along there. All right. So coming in this week, pretty surprising, because we really did not have any changes as far as the top 5 are concerned from last week to this week. However, the dollar amounts did change for the top 5. So coming in at number 5, we have Bohemian Rhapsody at $6 million. Number 4, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald at $6,805,000. Number 3 is Creed 2 at $10,322,515. Number 2 is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch at $15,175,000. And Wreck-It Ralph 2: Ralph Breaks the Internet coming in at $16,141,000. So there it is right there. There's your top 5. The exact same top 5 as last week, but the dollar amounts did change. So not too surprising, right? Because the last 2 weeks we've looked at theaters arriving in box office, and we really haven't had any big hitters at all. We've just had some Oscar potential, if you will, kind of coming out limited release and then expanding into more theaters and expanding into more theaters. So as you'll hear later in the show, we actually probably will see a dramatic shift in the box office top 5 from this week to next week because of what's hitting theaters. But, you know, not too surprising from last week to this week, because again, not really any competition out there. So to see the box office stay the same, not too surprising. Creed 2 still pulling in the adult audience who likes boxing movies and likes Rocky movies. Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, I still enjoyed it. I know it's getting some heat online, but check out my review for that in the movie review playlist. Bohemian Rhapsody, again, I had some issues with it. We've talked about it before on this show. So Ralph Breaks the Internet, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, Fantastic Beasts: Crimes of Grindelwald, Bohemian Rhapsody. All of these films I've seen and reviewed, so check out my reviews in the movie review playlist. Not too surprising. I think out of all of the top 5, the only thing that really surprises me is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, because it only had a drop of about 15% from last week to this week, which is pretty good, which means people are still getting out to the movies to see this film, and they're taking their families, right? Because it's a really good Christmas movie. It's a good new take. Excuse me. It's a good new take on The Grinch and the whole Grinch world that we know from all of the years, going all the way back to the first animated film and then Ron Howard's with Jim Carrey. Like, it's just a nice continuation and a nice build on a franchise and a character that we're already familiar with new stuff added in, right? New things in this world and new things in Whoville, new characters, and a literal new spin on like the ending and everything else. So I really like The Grinch. And I'm not surprised to see that it's still in the top 5. And I'm not surprised to see that it's still holding on in the top 3 position either. But I am pleasantly surprised that in its 5th week, from week 4 to week 5, it only had a 15% drop, because when you look at the other films, it's 30%, 40, well, 36, almost 40%, 38, 40 plus percent. So these films are taking these hits week after week, but The Grinch, boom, still holding on strong. So if you haven't seen it yet, if you have a family, if you've got kids and you're like, we need to do something as a family this holiday season, but we don't want to go to the mall because it's crazy crowded and there's people everywhere losing their minds because they want that holiday deal and special. If you don't want to fight for a TV, go check out The Grinch. Take your family to the movies. Go see The Grinch. Pretty good stuff. All right. Real quick coming in, let's round out the top 10. We've got Widows at 10, The Possession of Hannah Grace at number 9, Robin Hood at number 8, Green Book at number 7, and Instant Family holding on at number 6. From last week to this week, no change. And Instant Family, excuse me again, Instant Family, number 6, 2 weeks in a row. And just like The Grinch, a very small dip. And we've seen this a lot with Instant Family. It is just about 21% drop from week 3 to week 4. And it stayed consistently in the top 10. Now, it didn't really pull in major bucks at the box office, but the money it's pulling in consistently from week to week, which is pretty impressive. So if you want to go see a live action family movie, this might be the one to go see, right? Because it's getting some good buzz online. We've seen it in the box office here, holding steady at number 6. So there's a lot to take in. It had a budget of about $48 million. So far, it's made that back. It's at right now around $54 million. So it broke even. Will we see it start making some money? We'll have to wait and see, right? If people keep getting out to the theaters to check this film out, then it's a good possibility we'll see it start making some money. But we can definitely say it broke even with a budget of $48 million, and it's made $54 million so far. So good job to everybody involved with that film, making a quality product that people want to get out and check out, because the people went out, checked it out. Then they told their friends, they told their family, they told the people and coworkers. They're like, hey, if you like a good family movie, this might be the one to go see, because you guys have made your money back. So job well done on Instant Family. All right, so let's go ahead and move now into the first news topic, which is going to be the Golden Globes. I don't really give too much concern and too much attention to the Golden Globes, and you'll hear why in a second, but the viewership for the Golden Globes pulls in several million viewers every year. So it is something that the movie community likes to watch and likes to experience. So why not take a look at some of the nominations this year? So let's go ahead and move into that right now. But before we do that, let me remind you, if you saw any of the films in the top 10, go ahead and leave those comments in the comments section below and let me know your thoughts on the films in the top 10 that you saw and enjoyed. Or what are your thoughts on the box office top 10? Did they surprise you? Did those numbers surprise you? What did you think about the consistency we're seeing from some of these films as far as box office earnings are concerned? Hit that comment section. Let us know. Share your thoughts. All right. So for the Golden Globes, and we got 2 articles we're going to reference here. For the first one is coming to us from people.com, and this is basically just giving you an idea of kind of how the Golden Globes works and the voting and stuff like that. So it's basically the Hollywood Foreign Press, right? So there's about 93 voters in the Hollywood Foreign Press. So 93 people get together and they say, these are the films that we would like to recommend for these categories. And we'll talk about those categories in a second. And the Hollywood Foreign Press has been around since 1943. It was founded to get American cinema news out into the world, right? So to share American cinema with the rest of the world. It's journalists and photographers in the United States reporting for information outlets predominantly outside of the United States. So if you're a journalist or a photographer or something like that that likes to cover movies, and you're reporting all of that news to foreign outlets overseas in the UK or over in Asia or wherever, it's anywhere outside of the United States, then you can be part of this Hollywood Foreign Press from the sounds of it. And there's about 90 of these people that have been chosen to be part of the Hollywood. Let's take a look at it. I'm not overly concerned with the Golden Globes because 93 people. Now, if 93 people were voting on my show right now that you're watching, I'd be like, oh, thanks. That's cool. Thank you for nominating me, 93 people. But when it comes to like films and stuff like that, I don't know. It just seems like 93 people isn't a very large pool to gather information from on how good or how bad something is versus the Academy, which is several thousand votes, right? So Golden Globes, we'll take a look at it here real quick. Step 1 is joining the club, right? The Academy comprises about 6,000 members, and then it kind of goes through everything as far as like how the Academy Awards works and stuff like that, becoming eligible, casting your votes, finding the magic number. So it's going through the difference. I misspoke earlier about the Golden Globes. This is for the Academy. So it's going through how the Academy Awards works versus the Golden Globes, right? So 93 people versus several thousand people. So the people.com article, if you're interested, is going to kind of explain how the Academy Awards works and why I think that's a better show to kind of gauge which films are actually the better films versus just 93 people coming together and saying, here's what we think, right? The larger the pool of data that you can get your information from, hopefully the more accurate that information is, right? So that's kind of where I stand as far as the Golden Globes versus the Academy. So go ahead and check out that article from people.com. It'll give you a better idea on that. This article that we're going to be taking a look at for the nominees for the Golden Globes is coming to us from the New York Times. And this is giving us a breakdown of all of the films that have been chosen and nominated. So my big issue as I was going through it this morning, looking at this, was some of these films aren't even out in wide release yet. So I'm looking at these categories and I'm like, I can't even make a comment on some of these films because they're not even available in my area, which is a bummer. So we're going to take a look at them. And if you have seen them, if you live in the markets where these films were released, so probably New York, LA, maybe Chicago. But if you were looking at these films and you were actually able to get out and see them, leave your thoughts in the comment section and give your pros or cons about their nomination. Do you think it was right for them to be nominated, or would you have liked to seen somebody else put in that spot if you were able to actually see these films that were in and available for your market? All right, so for Best Motion Picture Drama, the nominees are A Star is Born, Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, and If Beale Street Could Talk. Now, out of these 5 films, I wouldn't be surprised if A Star is Born takes it. Now, I haven't seen Black Klansman, and If Beale Street Could Talk is not available in my area yet. But I've really liked the trailer for If Beale Street Could Talk. And the one thing I loved in the trailer was the music, the score that accompanies everything during that trailer. It's just absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, If Beale Street Could Talk, once I have an opportunity to see that, I might be able to say, yeah, that makes sense as to why it's in the top 5. But I wouldn't be surprised to see A Star is Born take that, or maybe Black Klansman. I don't think, with the issues I had with Bohemian Rhapsody, in my opinion, not being able to tell one succinct story, it kind of told several stories and squished all of those stories into a film. I would be surprised if that won, but I could see A Star is Born picking it up. I liked A Star is Born. And the music in A Star is Born was awesome. I saw it in IMAX. The music, the rock and roll just melted my face off. It was awesome. So if you have an opportunity to check out A Star is Born in IMAX, do it, because it's got some really good music. Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, we've got Crazy Rich Asians, The Favorite, Green Book, Mary Poppins Returns, and Vice. Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. This is that category that seems to confound and astound everybody, because some of the films in it, you're like, is Vice a musical or comedy? I don't know. I wouldn't say that The Big Short was a comedy by any means. I thought it was more deliberate and serious in tone and dramatic. So for me, looking at Vice, going, I haven't seen it yet because it's not available in my area, but I can't imagine that this is going to be a musical or comedy, right? I don't see anybody in the cast, Sam Rockwell or anyone, Christian Bale, dancing around and singing about how politics works in DC and abroad. I just don't picture that happening. No high kicks or anything like that, right? So I can't imagine that Vice is really the musical or comedy. I feel like this was just thrown in there because, again, this category seems to be that category where there's always like one weird film. Like I think it was The Martian was in there at one point too, if memory serves. So this is why the Golden Globes is weird to me. But yeah, so out of these, Crazy Rich Asians or Mary Poppins Returns has got to win. I am looking forward to The Favorite. It looks like it is going to be a dry humor movie, and I can't wait. The trailers have absolutely sold me. But Mary Poppins Returns, again, I haven't seen it, but the trailers, the music in the trailers reminds me of classic Disney. That stuff that I grew up on, that a lot of you guys grew up on. If you're like older millennial or Generation X or older, like the Mary Poppins Returns trailer, the music in it, the way it swells, everything orchestral, like I was just like, holy cow, this is Disney. So I have a really good feeling about Mary Poppins Returns, and Crazy Rich Asians. I absolutely love that film. So I wouldn't be surprised to see either of those two films winning. for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Let me know what you think, comment section. Best Director, we got Adam McKay for Vice, Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born, Peter Farrelly for Green Book, and Spike Lee for Black Klansman. Now for this one, it could go, and I haven't seen Green Book yet, but it could go to Peter Farrelly, Bradley Cooper, or Adam McKay. I wouldn't be surprised if any one of those three actually took the Golden Globe, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see. Best Performance by an Actress in a Motion Picture Drama. We have Glenn Close, the wife, Lady Gaga for A Star is Born, Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me, Nicole Kidman for Destroyer, and Rosamund Pike for A Private War. The trailers suggest to me that Rosamund Pike could win this, and again, I haven't seen it yet, but just what she's able to deliver in the trailers has impressed me, right? The fact that she suffers a traumatic injury and loses an eye, right? And she's got to go through all of that, and then Nicole Kidman, transformative. If you saw my trailer review for Destroyer, her performance in that is transformative. It did not look like Nicole Kidman at all. So very curious to see what comes from that movie. But Melissa McCarthy, I thought, did a great job in Can You Ever Forgive Me? I thought Lady Gaga was surprisingly really good in A Star is Born. I wasn't expecting her performance to be that strong. And I walked out of the theater, I was like, wow, she really brought the sauce for that. And then Glenn Close is the wife. I haven't seen it yet, but she's getting a lot of positive buzz on that. So could be, I think this one could be anyone's game at this point for that category. Let's go ahead and take a look at Best Actor now for the same category. All right, where to go? Here we go. And we have here for Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, we got Bradley Cooper for A Star is Born, John David Washington for Black Klansman, Lucas Hedges for Boy Erased, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and William Dafoe for At Eternity's Gate. This, I think, might be a little bit more, I think Rami Malek might actually take this one away for Bohemian Rhapsody. Lucas Hedges looks like and I haven't seen Boy Erased, but from the trailers, he's bringing a lot of drama and a lot of emotion in the trailers. But I think Rami Malek, he just does such a good job as Freddie Mercury. As far as the stories go and like that, I did have a problem with it, but I did not have a problem with his performance or his portrayal. So I think this one actually could go to Rami Malek or Bradley Cooper, because Bradley Cooper, the way he was able to kind of redo his walk, redo his voice, the way he talks, the intonations. I was really impressed with Bradley Cooper's performance as well, but I'm going to go ahead and give the slight edge to Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. So that's it for us right now as far as the Golden Globes are concerned. Again, there's more categories, right? But those are just the ones we were going to take a look at today. Go ahead, again, check out down below in the description box the full list, the 2019 Golden Globe nominations. It's coming to us from the New York Times. It is waiting for you down in the description box. All right, in order to try and keep this in our 30-minute range, right? That's what we shoot for on the show, 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and move now into the movie review. Like I said, I got out to see one film. That film was The Frontrunner. So we're going to take a look at my thoughts on The Frontrunner right now. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, because right when that's over, we're going to take a look at what's hitting theaters this week, what's hitting DVD and Blu-ray this week for your home theater, 2 certified rad stories, and again, we're going to close out the show with 5 more Christmas song recommendations for your Christmas playlist for your holiday parties this year. So don't go anywhere. We still have a lot to talk about right after this review, but here we go. We're going to jump right now into the review for The Frontrunner. Be right back. Hey, what's up, everybody? Jeremy Brunansky with Brunansky's Vlog, and I just finished watching the brand new trailer for Artemis Fowl, directed by Kenneth Branagh. Overall, really dug the trailer, not really familiar with the story or anything like that. It's the 80s in America. Colorado Senator Gary Hart is running to be the President of the United States. As the election draws closer, Hart is leading in the polls and is poised to win the election. However, politics is a tricky game that very few master, and the winds of change are always blowing. So, does the frontrunner deliver on the story of a presidential candidate caught in the middle of a scandal, or is the best that we'll get from a Hugh Jackman performance still real steel? Let's talk about it in this review. The movie begins by showing us the outlook that Gary Hart, played by Hugh Jackman, has on politics. From there, we're taken on a journey that explores one particular point in his life and his political career. The movie wastes no time telling this story, and it gives us the necessary details to showcase the change in news journalism and reporting. While at the same time, it also shows us how that change impacts politics, politicians, their daily lives, and their families. The pacing of the film moves very quickly, and it's the dialogue that helps drive the momentum of the pacing forward. It's the quick and rapier-like style of dialogue that the campaign team is giving back and forth throughout this film that really helps build on this belief that we have no time to waste in this story. The dialogue felt similar to something that we would expect from something like an Aaron Sorkin project. It's quick, it's wasting no time, and it's got some dry humor and sarcasm. The biggest issue I had with this film was character development, because there is none. Who the characters are at the very beginning of the film is exactly who they are by the end of the film. There is zero arc for every individual in this story. The film chooses to look at one particular moment in time, and it sticks to that with 100% conviction. In fact, by the end of the film, one could argue that since there's zero character development for all of the characters in this film, and the only change in progression we see is how the news is told and how the news is reported, one could argue that this film is actually more about news journalists and news reporting than it is actually the story of Gary Hart. Because we get to see the transition from how the newsrooms are reporting like actual news, like the economy, foreign relations, national security, and we see the paradigm shift, and we see them focusing more on just tabloid stories. If we're looking at the movie for a story that shows change, progression, and growth, we need to look at the news agencies, the news reporters, the journalists, the TV news anchors, not the politicians. Because every single individual that we meet is the same from beginning to end, but how the news is told and what is told on the news is not. The Front Runner is playing at your local movie theater right now, and I'm actually not going to recommend a big screen viewing of this film. However, I will recommend you check it out once it's available on Redbox or your preferred streaming service. Hugh Jackman, J.K. Simmons, and cast all do well in their roles in this film. In fact, I was actually surprised to see Molly Ephraim and Caitlin Dever in this film, because I only knew them from the TV show Last Man Standing, so it was nice to see them spread their acting chops out a little bit in a story that is more dramatic and more intense. And they both do a fine job in their roles as well. This film clocks in at 113 minutes, and it doesn't feel that long at all. Because again, the dialogue and how well it's done and how quick paced it is, plus how they have that central focus on just this particular moment in time, that really helped just drive the movie forward, kept the pacing consistent and quick, and again, it just made this film feel a lot shorter than it actually is. However, and unfortunately though, since this film has zero character development, and it's arguably not even about Gary Hart as the title suggests, but more about the news and how the news is reported, I can't give this film both high fives. So, The Front Runner will be getting one high five instead. The Front Runner is playing at your local movie theater right now. All right, and there's my thoughts on The Front Runner. I had a little snap there as far as getting the transition completed, but we got to figure it out, right? You got to see the intro for my review on Artemis Fowl twice. So there you go. As a reminder, just go ahead and follow the movie trailer reviews playlist because, you know, why not? There's videos going up right there. So go ahead and follow it. All right. We're going to go ahead and take a look now at what's hitting theaters this week, what's arriving on DVD and Blu-ray this week for your home theater, 2 certified rad stories, and then we're going to take a look at 5 more Christmas songs for your Christmas playlist before we sign off for this week. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's hitting theaters this week right now. Boom, there it is. Once Upon a Deadpool, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, The Mule, and Mortal Engines. So as you heard at the beginning of the show, when we were looking at the box office, I said we could see some big shakeups, right? We had basically 2 weeks where no films were coming out, and now we've got 4 good films coming out this week. Once Upon a Deadpool is the PG-13 version of Deadpool with new footage. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated film about all the different Spider-Men, the Spider-Man that we know, and then all of the different Spider-Men that people who really don't read comics probably aren't familiar with. For example, Spider-Ham. That's right, a pig that's Spider-Man and talks. We've got The Mule with Clint Eastwood and Mortal Engines by Peter Jackson. Am I looking forward to these films? Yes, I am looking forward to all 4 of these films. I don't know if I'll actually get out to see Once Upon a Deadpool, but I am absolutely looking forward to seeing Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, The Mule, and Mortal Engines. I have enjoyed the trailers for all 4 of these films immensely, and I'm looking forward to seeing all 4 of these films. But definitely Spider-Man, the Mule, and Mortal Engines. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing those in the theater. So check those out. Let me know which one you're most excited about in the comments section. Coming up next is on DVD and Blu-ray. We have Unbroken, Colette, Peppermint, Smallfoot, and Equalizer 2. Out of these 5 films, I saw Peppermint and Smallfoot. So you can check out my reviews for those in the movie review playlist. Equalizer 2 looked good. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that because I really liked The Equalizer. I thought that was a pretty good remake with a brand new spin on it. Colette and Unbroken I did not see, but if you saw them, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments section as to why we should watch those films or why we should not watch those films and spend our precious time with those stories. So go ahead and let us know in the comments below. All right, we're going to go ahead and move now into the last segment. That segment is going to be Certified Rad. If you're new to the show, Certified Rad is simply a section where I find something or someone sends me something. Last week, my parents sent me a couple stories and they're like, hey, check this out. Same thing happened this week. My parents were like, hey, the holidays, check these holiday stories out. I was like, oh, okay. So if someone sends me something, in this case, my parents, or if somebody else sends me something and they're like, hey, check it out. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty rad. If it's super rad, we'll certify it rad. And we talk about it, boom, right here on this channel every week. So this week for Certified Rad, just like last week, we've got 2 stories. Those 2 stories we're going to take a look at. And if you want to follow the articles, again, as always, in the description box below. All right, so Certified Rad this week. The first story is coming to us from CNN. That's right, CNN dropped a story about how 2 vets died with no family to mourn them. And what happened next is pretty awesome. So when you, as a service member, male or female, doesn't matter, anybody who's willing to put their life on the line for the country, for our freedoms, and they're willing to risk everything, right? Because you're putting your life on the line so that people like myself and everybody else, we can do the things that we enjoy doing, right? Whether it's talking movies and entertainment and music and everything else on YouTube, or whether it's, doing something in banking or insurance or whatever the case may be, right? Doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing that's your passion, there's people that are out there protecting us so that we can do these things, which is Certified Rad by itself. So what happens then when those people die and they get sent home and they've got no family to pay their respects and remember them? Well, that's what the story is going to look at. So these 2 vets died with no family. They were sent back to their town in Corpus Christi, Texas. And these are 2 Vietnam War vets, Army veteran Clifford Ray Dudley and Marine Lance Corporal Dennis Ray Ashley. They both died recently, no next of kin, no family. So what happened is when they were actually sent back home to be buried with full military honors, an estimated 400 people showed up in the town. 400 people, complete strangers, right? These people were like, look, these guys don't have any family. They gave the ultimate sacrifice for their country. And we have got to go ahead and pay respects to these people, even though they don't have any family or anybody that can do it for them. We're going to go ahead and pick up the mantle. And the whole town, 400, not the whole town, but 400 people rallied around these 2 veterans and said, hey, thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifice. And they paid their respects right there. When you can inspire 400 people that you've never met to show up to your funeral, to pay respects for the sacrifice that you gave, so that they could do the things that they enjoy doing, that level of inspiration and the town's ability to see that and respect those individuals and those men enough that they actually got out of their normal day-to-day routines and went to the funeral to pay respects. Come on, you can guarantee that that is Certified Rad. So this is a pretty powerful story about people recognizing the sacrifices that our military, male and female, they give for us, right? So check this story out again. Article down below, CNN.com. And again, that is to everybody in the town of Corpus Christi, Texas. 400 strangers. Very impressive. All right, last story today is coming to us from E.T., not E.T. Phone Home, not an alien, but we're actually talking entertainment tonight. E.T., etonline.com. Kid Rock and Tyler Perry have been doing some pretty cool things. I don't want to say they're competing with each other, but if they are, that's cool too. But Tyler Perry went out and he decided he was going to go ahead and pay it forward. And he went out and paid off $430,000 of layaway items for people in the area that he was in. So he went to the store, paid off almost $500,000 worth of layaway, which is huge. And then Kid Rock came in, and Kid Rock says he was inspired by Tyler Perry's good deed, the 47-year-old singer said, and he paid $81,000 to clear off the balances of 350 layaway accounts at a Walmart store in Nashville, Tennessee. So you got these two guys that are both in entertainment, and they've both made a very nice living off of being able to follow their passions and follow their dreams and their hearts and make music and everything else that people enjoy and people can, you know, take time out and really celebrate, right? So what did they do? They decided to pay it forward. Tyler Perry steps up in a big way, $430,000. Boom, cleared those layaways. Whole bunch of families are going to be getting their Christmas done right, and they won't have to worry necessarily about, you know, after Christmas, right? The bank account hangover, if you will, when you wake up after Christmas and you look at your bank account and your credit card statements and you're like, holy moly, how much did we spend this year? And then you've got the rest of the year you're trying to work that off, right? Thankfully, these two guys stepped up to the plate and they said, look, we're going to go ahead and pay it forward. We're going to do a big thing here, and we're going to take care of these layaway items, which really helps families out and really helps kind of bring home that Christmas feeling without the financial hangover, right? That the holidays can sometimes bring for people if they really splurge and go crazy. I'm not saying everybody does, but if some people do, then they definitely have that holiday financial hangover. So Kid Rock, Tyler Perry stepping up in a big way, 350 layaway accounts at a Walmart store in Nashville, $430,000 layaway items in Atlanta stores, multiple stores. So when you are a celebrity and you're at that point, you're like, I just really want to help some people at Christmas and I want to help some families, and you step up to the plate in a big way and you take care of layaway items like that, you can guarantee that that is certified rad. So big shout out to Tyler Perry and Kid Rock there. Again, this article is coming to us from ET Online. So go ahead and check those out. All right. Last segment of the show here, we're going to be taking a look at 5 songs that are coming to your Christmas playlist. But before we do that, I've got 2 Christmas present recommendations as well. So if you have anyone in your family that is a reader or enjoys entertainment stories, like the history of Hollywood and stuff like that, or just think pieces about stuff like that, or comedy, I've got 2 books that I've finished reading that I'm going to recommend to the readers in your life. So if you're wondering what can you get for people for Christmas this year that enjoy reading, first recommendation is going to be this guy right here, Memoirs of a Mangy Lover by Groucho Marx. This book, just like the next book, had me laughing out loud. Literally, I felt like a lunatic. I was out in public reading a book and just laughing hysterically. Fantastic, fantastic stories in here by Groucho Marx with his turns of phrases and everything else. Just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. Kind of recapping some of his life and his experiences in Hollywood and everything else. Next up is this one here. We have Eric Idle's Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, a sort of biography. This book, just like Memoirs of a Mangy Lover, had me laughing out loud. He's still around. It's his take on his experience doing Monty Python, coming up through the UK all the way into American television and cinema, and then even onto Broadway with Spam-A-Lot and everything else. There's an entire chapter dedicated to his relationship, or his friendship rather, with Robin Williams, as well as many other comedians like Steve Martin, etc. So this was just a great book, a lot of fun. Again, both of these books had me literally laughing out loud as I'm reading them. Just fantastic stuff. So if you have people in your life that enjoy those kinds of Hollywood stories and those books of comedy and stuff like that, and they like to laugh, check out down below in the description box. I threw links down there for both these books. Check them out for Christmas, because I guarantee you the readers in your life that enjoy arts, entertainment, and like the Hollywood stuff like that will definitely enjoy these books because they are hilarious. So check those out. All right, so real quick, we're going to finish up the show here with 5 Christmas song recommendations. These are 5 more songs you can add to your Christmas playlist for your Christmas party this year. Last week, I gave you 5. If you want to go back and check that out, you can check out last week's episode, those 5 songs. If you don't want to go through the whole episode, if you just want to stop in for a quickie and go, you can hit up the comment or the description box section, because that's where those 5 songs are listed. So you can hop into last week's episode. You can take a look at those 5 songs, and then you are in and out. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your time. Give me the thumbs up, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. All right, so quick. We're going to go 5 songs. First of the 5, these are in no particular order. We're jumping into controversy. We're going into controversial town, USA. That's where we're headed with this first song. It's a classic. I don't care what anyone says. I really don't care about how people are misinterpreting this song and they're trying to turn it into some weird, crazy thing, right? This is a classic. This song is going to provide people the opportunity to maybe kind of take a break from like the jumping around dancing and the excited dancing. Maybe grab the girl, grab the guy by the arm, take him out to the dance floor and spin him around a little bit and just have a fun time dancing together, as opposed to just everybody standing in a circle dancing by themselves, but in a group, right? So first song coming to us, Controversy USA. That's first song is Baby It's Cold Outside by Dean Martin, right? This song is a classic. I really don't care what the weirdos out there are saying about this song. They're completely off their meds. We need to get them some help, because if they think this song is negative and some weird kind of crazy thing, they're crazy. That's the facts, Jack. They are crazy, because this song is a classic and I'm recommending you add it to your Christmas playlist. Baby It's Cold Outside. Lots of different versions. I'm recommending the Dean Martin version. Next up, this song is going to be one of those songs where you can throw on at the beginning of the party before everybody shows up, but you may have like 1 or 2 or 3 people or couples just kind of rolling into the holiday party at your work or your house or wherever. And you just need some kind of light, upbeat music to get the atmosphere started. That is going to be Merry Christmas by NSYNC. That's right. We're going way back into the 90s. NSYNC coming to us in a big way with Merry Christmas. I don't know if this song came out in the 90s, but whenever I think of NSYNC, I think of the 90s. So NSYNC, Merry Christmas. That's going to be the next recommendation. Number 3, Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses. This is, again, just another fun song to get the party started, to get the mood going. Let everybody know, hey, we're here to have a good time. Leave your drama with your mama. This is going to be a fun Christmas party, and we just want to celebrate friendship, family, the holiday season, Christmas, etc. This song is going to be coming to you, the Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses. Number 4, you might want to slow it down a little bit and give those couples a chance, right, to remember fondly the days when they didn't argue. Maybe they got along better, right? Who knows? Maybe everybody's getting along all the time. I don't know what your life situation is. I'm not going to sit here and try and guess, but maybe you want to give people an opportunity to slow things down, and you want to give people an opportunity to kind of get close and dance and just share a nice moment. That is going to be brought to you by the Eagles, and it's going to be Please Come Home for Christmas. And finally, number 5, we're going to switch it completely up. We're going to give people, again, this is all about bringing people together and getting them to interact and not just stand in a circle and like move their shoulders or kick their feet. This is going to bring people together, and it is going to be a classic, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, Christmas Without You. Now, if you know how to dance, like if you've actually taken dance classes or anything like that, and you know how to swing dance. I know how to swing dance. I used to do it a lot. You know, the flipping over the shoulder, flip them over the back, under, around, the whole deal, right? If you know how to do that stuff, this is a great song for you and your partner to get out there and really legitimately cut a rug. That's what this song is going to be for, because it's got that upbeat kind of jazzy swing pop vibe that you can absolutely grab your dance partner and go have some fun. Maybe even show off your dancing skills. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I'm just saying there's an opportunity for a good time, and this song is going to help achieve that good time. Christmas Without You, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. So there you go. There's your top 5. This week, Baby It's Cold Outside, Dean Martin, Merry Christmas by NSYNC, Christmas Wrapping by the Waitresses, Please Come Home for Christmas by the Eagles, and Christmas Without You, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. There's your 5 songs. Last week, I gave you another 5 songs, so that's 10 Christmas songs for your playlist to spice things up, maybe to slow things down, whatever the case may be. There's 10 songs to help build out your Christmas playlist for your Christmas party. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Jeremy Brunansky. We're going to be back next week for the very last live episode in 2018. That's right. 2018 is gone. Where did it go? I don't know, but it flew by. So that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for sticking around until the end. Hope you guys are having a great Christmas season so far. Hope you've been able to get out to see some of the films we talked about. Hope you're able to get out this weekend to see some of the new films we talked about that are going to be hitting theaters. And I hope you guys are able to get out and do all of your holiday events with friends and family and loved ones. And you're really just able to embrace the positive, fun energy that this time of year provides us. It's a lot of fun. Hope you're able to take advantage of that fun. All right, everybody. Again, I'm Jeremy Brunansky. Thanks so much for stopping by for another episode. We'll be back next week, 10 a.m. PST, for the last live episode of 2018. So I hope to see you guys then. Until next time, and as always, folks, good night and good luck. Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy Brunansky with Brunansky's Vlog, and you've just finished watching another brand new episode right here on YouTube. Did you enjoy it? Oh, you loved it. Fantastic. Since you loved it so much, go ahead and give me that thumbs up, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show right here on YouTube. Also, don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell so you get notifications when new content drops. For example, I made a short film, and you can check it out right over there, and any other number of things, DVD reviews, movie reviews, etc. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Monday at 10 a.m. PST right here on YouTube. Take care. Bye-bye.